Established in 1900, surviving 2 world wars and 1 cereal cafe, 3 generations have passed on the ownership.
Toad, 1 set breakfast!
Born upstairs, inside these very walls. Real Cockneys, a word often used but not often understood. Humour, charm, and of course, honesty. The food, well, it speaks for itself. Made with love and designed to fill. Join us in Ep.1 as we go down the calf.
Action.
Right, so it's lovely to have you here.
Lovely to be here.
We know you are. Will you tell these lovely people watching who you are and what you do?
Who am I telling? Am I telling you?
You're telling them.
My name is Maverick Sabre. I'm a singer-songwriter, producer.
Thank you for coming in, Maverick.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thinking, is that your real name though, Maverick?
It isn't my real name. My parents weren't like French Star Wars fans, Maverick Sabre, you know what I mean? But I started making beats when I was 15, producing hip-hop beats, instrumentals. I started up a MySpace page, for anyone who remembers MySpace.
Yeah, we remember that.
We don't, I'm too young to remember MySpace.
And my initials are MS, and so I found 2 words that
sounded cool.
Yeah, and for me, Maverick, someone who thinks outside the box, and the meaning I found for Sabre at the time was someone who puts on a hard in front to get through hard times. But in Arabic, Sabre, or a different pronunciation, means patience, which I'm searching for.
You're going to need a lot of that. You're going to need a lot of that. Maverick, I tell you.
Right, I'm confused, because you're proper Irish, yeah? I can hear you. Yeah. You sound like my wife, yeah? So you grew...
She's rough as hell.
She's rough. She's rough. So you were born in...
I was born in Hackney.
In Stoke Newington.
Stoke Newington. My mum's side of the family are all from Hackney. Her dad was from Kerry, but her mum, my nan, all East End. I was born with my sister in Stoke Newington. We lived here till '94, so till I was about 4. And then I moved back to Wexford. My dad's from Wexford.
Wexford, gold and purple.
What do you consider yourself? Because you sound very Irish, but like you said, you're born up in, grew up
I don't know. I think I would consider myself London Irish, because London's a part of my heart. It's where I was born. It was what I was always connected to. And Irishness runs through me, is how I was brought up. But I always wanted to move back to London, and I think, music was my gateway into doing that. And this year I've spent half my life in each place, and I feel very connected to both places. So, yeah, I would call myself London Irish.
Are you telling us you were born in Homerton Hospital?
Born in Homerton Hospital, yeah.
My boys were born there.
For years I always thought that I was an old school Cockney, born within the sound of Bow Bells, but I'm told that Homerton Hospital isn't within the sound of Bow Bells.
Yeah, but it's still East London.
We'll take it.
I think it's more if you embrace the whole thing of, and you seem to like being an East Londoner.
Oh, most definitely.
And you're proud of it, sort of thing, and you're proud of being Irish, which we're the same. We're very proud of being Italian,
Cockney,
but we're very proud of being like Cockney EastEnders.
Yeah, I think there's a beautiful
connection. Where did your mum grow up then?
She grew up in Stoke Newington.
So where did she go to school?
I don't know what school she went to, but she grew up on Rectory Road.
How old's your mum?
Did she go to Our Lady's Convent, the same as me?
My mum's just turned 70.
Oh, she's older than me.
Yeah.
But she might have gone to Our Lady's Convent, because that was...
You went with all the Irish girls, didn't you?
It's
at the very top. Do you know when you go to the very top of Stoke Newington and it becomes Stanford Hill at the very top?
She might have. I don't know. I'd have to find out. But yeah, maybe
when I
one
was
of
at
our
school,
sisters might have gone there or something like that.
90% of the girls were like second generation Irish. That's how I know. Will I sing my song?
Oh, please do.
You know
it? Yeah, nah.
Sheena Fina for... You don't even fucking know.
Wait, for you to sing it, you sing it to me.
She knows the rest of the time.
And then everyone goes, da, 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 da.
The Irish are very patriotic. Yeah. I remember being with my friend, he took me to a place in Bundoran, which is in the north of Ireland.
Well, you went to see the depths of the place.
And we went to like a little club, and about 3 o'clock in the morning, all the lights come on, and everyone gets up and starts singing that. And I said, Nick, what do I do? And he said, just pretend. He said, everyone's pissed.
Man, Italian and Irish are very close to each other as well.
Jesus, she wanted to be at his wedding.
Yeah, it was great.
It was a fucking mess.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
Who drinks more than
the missus, mate?
Well, we started off, we were giving it the big and starting off, we started off at lunch. And then about 7 o'clock, we'd kind of flagged. And that's when the Irish started. They were just warming up.
Irish Italian wedding, that's dangerous.
Do you know where I would take her? And I think you've done a little gig in there the other night. Every St Patrick's Day, I'd take her to the old Chalet.
Oh, come on,
And we'd go and they'd just line the Guinnesses up on St Patrick's. The Guinnesses are
and
lined
they're so
up.
busy in the back there on Paddy's Day that they have the little bar at the back as well that they open up in the smoking area. Yeah,
you done a little gig there,
I did there recently.
How was it?
Oh, it was beautiful. I've known Tomas and Angus who own the old Chalet for years.
And they're good people though.
Great people, family owned, independent, And
not many of us
not in Church Street anymore as well, you know what I mean?
It's all trendy.
Like, for pubs like that and family-owned Irish pubs, it's a beautiful thing. My dad used to drink in there when he lived in London in the 80s, and it was nice to be able to go back and do something in a pub.
Do you know, that's why I was surprised. Did you come in here with Jake a little while ago?
I did.
And I ripped the life out of you. Do you know why? Because you came in with your woolly hat, like little hat, and you were from Stone Newington.
Yeah.
I didn't realise you was. I thought you were one of those that go like.
Someone when I walked in here today, someone said he's got his trendy hat on. I was like,
no, but normally they go like.
It used to be a sailor's hat. Now it's a bloody trendy hat. Don't worry about any of these trendies with bikes and bells and all that.
Oh, they go, I'm from Stokey.
Yeah,
no, you're not from fucking Stokey.
You're
You're from Surrey and you live in. But you're real.
No, there's none of that
You're
going
proper.
on. Yeah, we can trace the heritage back. Don't worry.
Yeah, he's all right. We'll let him off.
Yeah.
How old were you when you come back?
I came back when I was 17.
And
finished school at 16, came back when I was 17.
That's pretty young.
It was
on your own.
Yeah.
And did you sort of did you have to come back for the music because you wanted to follow your dream sort of thing? Come over and
yeah, I was doing Irish hip hop at the time, and the scene was quite small in Ireland, and I was always connected to London, and I knew that there was a certain connection that I had back here that I could kind of come back and work.
You had family over here still.
Yeah, and I'd I ended up making the decision and then moving over within 2 weeks. Luckily, I had nowhere to go at the start, but luckily my aunt was living in Greenford at the time, so I went out and stayed with her.
So no friends or nothing, Maverick?
I didn't know no one here, apart from Plan B.
Ben.
Plan B.
And how did you meet him?
I randomly met him I was supporting him at a gig when I was 15 in Dublin, and we met backstage. I entered this vocal competition that he had. He was signed to a label called 679 at the time. Entered it, was just like sing some tunes over his instrumentals, we'd pick the winner. I won a day with him in a studio in Leytonstone. I was 16. I did the day with him, and at the end he hugged me singing, and he was like, what are you doing now? And I just finished school. I was like, fuck all, to be honest. Like, I didn't really do that great on my leaving cert, and I was kind of like scratching around for things to do. And he was like, yeah, just forget that. If you do want to move back to London and want to pursue this, I'll give you a place to stay, I'll give you a studio to use. And so I went and worked, saved some money up in Ireland, and then I just decided to move back. And I was just like, I packed my bag one day and moved back, and he helped me out, and I stayed with my aunt in Greenford. And
you're still in touch with him?
Yeah, still in touch with him.
He's a nice boy, Ben. His missus was in the other day.
Oh, wow, great songwriter, great musician.
Hey, have you heard his little girl play?
Nah.
Hey, get
She's
his little...
brilliant.
She's brilliant.
Really
she's
good,
only like
and a great footballer, isn't she?
She's a great little footballer. Supports the wrong team, obviously.
Okay. What's the wrong team?
What's your right team? What's your right team?
Well, because I know Ben's an Arsenal.
He's a gooner.
Yeah, that's the wrong team.
That's the wrong team.
That's the right team for me.
Let's finish the interview. Finish the over. Come on, he's got
I feel sorry for him.
Give me some takeaway beers, let me leave. Come on.
You know, talking about takeaway, do you know, Maverick, you were saying about growing up in Ireland, growing up in England. Like, you're obviously in our little calf. You've been there a few times before. What like, calves in Ireland, calves in England, are there any similarities? Are there some you love more? Are there some... Do you know, is there something when you go in an Irish calf that you really look forward to? Or?
Do you know what? When I used to eat it, it was the puddings, like white and black pudding that I used to eat.
Yeah, we keep trying to get hold of a good white pudding, don't we?
The little old Irish lady today went past in her wheelchair. She said, never got you your pudding. She's bringing me some tomorrow.
She's bringing this. And no, you know what? The only main difference is soda bread.
Yeah.
Soda bread. Like, when you get that and again, I don't eat sausages anymore, but I used to love little sausage sandwich, soda bread and
we won't tell no one.
I love
won't tell no one.
We won't tell no one.
Catch out that
I love a chicken curry in Ireland.
Oh yeah,
chicken curry in the calves and that. They do a little curry.
The spice bag in Ireland.
The spice bag, cool.
It's
a bag with spice and chips.
Yeah,
not spice.
When I used to say to people here, it's like, you have spice bags in Ireland.
Because spice fucks you up. Don't be touching that, Maverick.
No. This is purely chips and chicken or whatever.
Yeah. Have you been a veggie for long?
8 years.
And what was the reason for that? Did you?
Cheaper, probably.
Harry's
moved to Stoke Newington.
Yeah. Give me some tofu. Yeah, do you know what? It was just, it was something that I think was creeping in with me for a long while. And I think like certain things maybe in childhood that I had in my mind kind of creeped in as I got a bit older. My dad used to work in a meat factory, and he always used to tell me stories about like the horrors of the meat factory.
The whores in the meat factory.
The horrors.
That wouldn't have turned me off meat, you know what I mean?
What's he saying in the meat factory?
Horrors.
What's that? Horrors.
The horrors.
Oh, horrors.
Fucking
hell.
It's like when I'm on them automated systems like, with the phone company, I'm like, yeah, can you say what you're complaining? They're like, we cannot understand what you say. I'm like, the horrors.
Maverick, you want to see?
There's me thinking you were a trendy one out of fucking Stoke Newington.
You want to see Nicola? And what's Nicola and Mum like when they're talking at Sunday dinner?
So funny. Like, my mum sounds like Stavros. She's Italian, but you know, she took her like a this, and she's even after. And Nicola's proper, especially if she's been home for a
like
bit.
proper Irish.
But do you remember when Moira used to work with us?
Yeah.
And this lovely little old Irish lady Moira used to work with us. And one day we shouted out, we don't really sell Evian, because we do whatever water we sell.
Yeah.
So we shouted out, Moira, will you pass us an Evian like that? And Moira reminded me of, do you remember, Jesus, what's her name? The two soups.
Oh, what, Mrs. Doyle?
No, not Mrs. Doyle. What's the name? George, was it Two Soups?
From what?
Two Soups.
From what? Who's Two
From
Soups?
what
She
show?
used to do it with it's gone, Victoria Wood, and she's really famous. She's done she's done a million stories.
One.
Yeah,
I
Two
never watched
Soups.
it.
Anyway, right, she's super.
Yeah,
Julie
go on.
Walters.
Julie Walters,
used
go
to do
on.
Two
Yeah,
Soups.
yeah.
Moira, will you pass us an Evian like that? So Moira comes up like that.
Yeah. Do you
And she
remember
puts up this big fucking leg of ham on the thing. She's like, Moira, if you asked me for a heavy ham. She put up a heavy ham.
She did and all.
Oh, she was wonderful,
Yeah,
Moira,
but
wasn't she?
it's
How
great.
much our accent thickens up when she goes, oh, your wife's accent.
Yeah.
Like when you hear her and my mum, they'll be
That's quite
talking,
funny.
and then my mum looks at me and goes, what did she say? Oh, Nicola will look at me and go, I can't understand your mum.
That's why they probably get
But
on.
they get on
There you
great.
go.
Yeah, they have a glass of wine together. They get
Minimal
on great.
conversation. You know?
All four.
Yeah.
I used to be a vegetarian, didn't I, Nev?
Yeah,
What happened?
Do you know what? So I started going out with we've been going out since we were 17. And then you'd come out on a Friday night after going to wherever, and we'd always go to the kebab shop there, yeah? And they'd always get whatever, and I'd go like, oh, can I have chips with salad on pita, please? Like that. And it was just like really boring. And then one night I thought, fuck it. What's the first thing I had after about 10 years of being a vegetarian? Doner kebab at an extra.
Yeah, but see, these are the
nice.
things.
You know when the fat just starts
if
to get
there's something
congealed?
that tempt you back.
So nice.
They're the things that, for me, I never really like, and maybe I was lucky in the journey because I never really missed anything. The things I missed was sausage rolls, sausage sandwich, and a lamb shawarma wrap. They're my things, them three things.
And would you turn back for one of them?
No.
You wouldn't know. You think that's you for life?
Yeah, that's me done. Yeah. That's me done. Yeah. Once I started looking into stuff, for me personally, it was just like once I made the decision, I wasn't going back. Yeah. I can still smell
And it's
it.
probably much
Are
better
you
for
like
as
that?
well.
Are you like that in your mindset in certain things? If you set your mind on something, you're like, do you find that in your life? Like you'd be like, I'm going to do this, you do it.
Yeah, if I'm set out to do something, I'm pretty stubborn.
Like you were like, I'm coming to England, that's it.
Yeah,
Did your mum and dad try and talk you out of it?
Yeah,
They did?
definitely. Well, I fucking packed a bag and 2 weeks
And
later
you did,
I was
and you
off.
just went?
And I didn't really know where I was going, and I was
And
just
how
like...
did they react to that?
Well, my dad was a musician, so he grew up playing in pubs and stuff, so he was kind of like
you got it.
silently, he like, oh, yeah, it'll be all
He was
right.
Let him go and
My
try.
mum was worried, obviously.
Of course
you know
she
what I
was
mean? She
worried.
was the worried, so, you know.
Did you ever
and
do the
obviously-
pub scene? In Ireland?
Not really. We did like, do you know what? When I came here, we did the open mic scene for a while. So that was always in pubs here. And it was like, what was that? It was like 2007, 2008. And the open mic scene was really good here. And that was all in pubs. So yeah, that was my closest kind of thing to that. But I never did like pubs and covers or anything like that. It was always just original music on open mic nights.
And you'd been writing from when you was like...
From a kid, yeah.
From a kid?
Yeah. From a kid, from maybe about 11 or 12. My
Wow.
dad taught me 4 chords on the guitar. And,
So that's just in you?
Yeah, definitely.
Talking about calves in England and calves in Ireland and what you used to like, the white and the black
Yeah,
pudding.
yeah.
But in terms of life and the people and, you know, just the whole feeling of it, what's the things you like most in... I'm sure you love both.
Yeah.
But is there any one thing or something that you love about in Ireland or London?
Do you know what? I think there's an attitude in Ireland that keeps you humbled and keeps you, making light of situations. I feel like in Ireland we've got a great comedic approach to dark situations, and that can always help no matter what you're going through in life. So I always like to go back to Ireland to recharge the batteries with stuff like that. But the beauty about London is London's got that culture of Irishness in it, but it's also got a magnitude of loads of other cultures that
anyone and everyone.
Yeah, and grow up beside each other. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I don't think there's that many places in the world that have such a close knit community of
That's
so
what
many
we love
different
about it.
nationalities and backgrounds that have grown up around each other. You know what I mean? So I think there's something really unique about that, and finding the similarities between cultures that I find really inspiring and beautiful.
Somebody was telling me that, saying about New York, and I was saying, well, that's a pretty multicultural. They said, yeah, it is, but you've got like, that's that area. Whereas
it
in London,
is that, but it's not the same as London.
it's not the same. Whereas London, everyone grows up, like you said, together.
Everyone's around each other.
Like your friends, are all, like my friends growing up, were from all different.
That's what's so lovely about this little place, and places like this little place were so important because it's so small and people are often forced to sit. And you have so many different, every little, just today I said, where were they from? That they were, I think they were Malaysian, but grew up in America.
Oh,
and
yeah,
literally
Singapore.
Singapore, there was one, they literally, every single corner of the world was all just squashed up next to one another and getting on and whatever, and
And then I guess
and that's
it's
what it should be like.
Of course it should be.
Yeah.
And it's like that is that's the maybe like the cure, one of the cures to all the bollocks in the world.
Yeah, well,
Like,
maybe if they just had a little 5-minute video in here and see how everyone got. It's not that hard, is
Nah,
it? Just be nice.
And like people going down to the simple human need. Let's eat together. Let's share, like break bread together and have conversations. I think, yeah.
Maverick, let's cause another war here. Where's the food? Where's the food? Where's the food better? Ireland or England?
Oh, mate, what do you mean? But England, Ireland.
Where's it better? Come on. You're
Well,
gonna cause
do you know what?
murders.
I was having this conversation with someone the other day about like what is Irish cuisine. I did this thing and they were like asking loads of people on the lineup like what childhood dish, and I felt ashamed because I was like, it was like bacon and cabbage.
Lovely.
Yeah, lovely.
All bacon and cabbage done well is amazing.
Yeah, no, but done well now. Now I don't know if my memories of bacon and cabbage were that great, but it's a difficult one because I guess like, all right, what's Irish cuisine, what's English cuisine? Now, if you were to bring it back to calves, this is a bit controversial.
Yeah.
I'll probably get slapped if I go home for this. I prefer English calves.
Oh!
No, but there's more.
Yeah, but we're
I wasn't going to say
But
that.
there's more of a
Maverick.
calf. There's
I
more
like
of
the
a-
Irish calf better, everybody.
Yeah, so do I, Christy, if he's watching.
I'll show my passport, like, get the
Yeah.
But there's more of a calf culture here than there is
Yeah.
in Ireland. But then I would prefer like the soda bread or the pudding and stuff like that.
In Ireland.
But yeah, I think there's a bit of a resurgence for old school Irish recipes and stuff like that.
There's a few places opened
something
again,
coming
even
back.
in London.
Even in London, it's coming back
Yeah,
again. I'm like,
and you know
yeah.
the great thing in London is if you fancy and especially being a vegetarian, you fancy a Thai food, you fancy Indian,
It's
you
available
fancy
24/7.
Chinese. You've got like literally.
Yeah.
If you fancy one of them hards in there, where the
I just put me dad in it there, like, fucking hell, yeah.
Dad's gonna
Meat
get
factory
slapped
sounds like a
now.
great laugh, all of you.
You've got such a
Oh,
great
sorry,
choice
Dad.
in.
Sorry for everything.
Yeah, you got such a great choice in London.
Yeah.
That you don't know what to eat almost. You've got too much choice almost.
Of course. That's why it's hard. I would like, if it was to be like London specific, the question, I'd have to pick London.
Be harder to be a vegetarian in Ireland.
It was very hard when I first was, but it's getting better.
It's getting better.
It's definitely getting better. Yeah, it's definitely getting better. But yeah, it's been tough. Or when we used to do shows in Europe and stuff like that, if you're stuck on a motorway in Germany at 4 o'clock in the morning to try and find, you're eating a lot of bags of crisps. So.
Yeah, a load of rubbish. So you're saying you came over to London to start your kind of like music career, this, that and the other, London Cavs. So we've got to worry about him now, haven't we?
Should we feed him?
So no, is he
Are
hungry?
you hungry?
What have
You
got
look
to bloody-
hungry. I got some stuff for you, boy.
Mama
Come
Maria's
on.
made you something really special.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
lucky
come
because
on.
I wanted
Yeah,
this
yeah.
for myself to take home. She made it for you.
That's why when you said
But
that,
do you know who she always makes it for? He's the baby, he's the youngest and the only boy in an Italian family. We call him King Farouk or Golden Balls.
I like
Okay.
King
She makes them
Farouk
all
better.
special little things. Yeah.
Golden balls.
Yeah. Can we make you something to eat?
Oh, please do.
Lovely, let's go and get
Get
him something
something.
on.
Come on, let's go.
Please do.
Smashing. got something special for you here.
Oh,
look.
beautiful.
Got Mamma Maria's spinach ricotta cannelloni. That's got homemade bechamel and pomodoro.
Oh, wow.
Just do
A
what
little
you can.
homemade penne pellicci. Make our own pesto and tomato. Now this, our mum, she wouldn't
Fucking
even...
hell, you're trying to fatten me up here.
Well,
or
you're a
what?
vegetarian. We're worried you'll go over in 2 minutes. You've not had a bit of meat for ages. You'll probably faint when you
A
fucking
beer
go
and a half
outside.
down, I'm already getting shaky.
But our mum, he's the favourite, I told
Yeah,
you.
obviously.
He didn't even get this, but she knew you were coming. She said, lovely
come on, I was gonna
pepperonata.
say, yeah.
You have some
That's the
spuds,
fucking
you have some
spuds.
spuds,
Wait,
come on,
the
hold on a
fucking
minute,
Line
the
up,
spuds.
line
I'm
up.
giving you a bit of Italian here, look.
Yes.
Pepperonata, so you can tell
Alright.
if it's in there. And these are good
yes.
spuds.
All right.
Twice cooked potatoes, they're
And
lovely.
there's pesto, she made that this
You've got
morning.
to dip a chip in there.
A bit of parmesan
Can I put
cheese.
you a little bit of parmesan on your pasta
yeah,
for you?
please.
Look at that, lovely.
There you go, I'll leave it there for you anyway. If I give you a knife and fork, there you go, salt
Hopefully
there.
you have. I can
Bon
eat my hand.
appetito, you've
Thank you
got to
very-
put a bit of salt on them
Yeah,
chips.
go on. All right.
Your vinegar. Where's
No
the
vinegar,
No
we're having
vinegar?
pesto. Do you want
What?
vinegar? Did you do his food Italian style? Do you remember what Mama used to do to me when I was vegetarian?
Put
She'd
little
chop-
bits of meat in there, I've done it.
No, she'd put it up at the bottom. It don't count if it's at the bottom.
Yeah,
It's only
slices of
chicken.
ham.
little bit of chicken,
Hey,
chicken.
Only
so what's your
chicken.
favourite dish?
Oh, impossible.
That is my favourite.
Do you know what we like? You wouldn't like this. A nice pork chop
Yeah.
with really crispy rind. A
That's
good
not
pork
fucking
chop.
good to me, though.
No, I know. But with pepperonata,
Yeah.
oh, lovely. Makes you fart like hell, but it's really good.
That and chips, dip your chip
Yeah.
in there proper.
Was this what you were saying
Yeah,
there?
that's what Mama made for you today.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I
Oh.
went round home and got it before she made it when she went home.
Oh. Now, are you saying that for camera or did your mother
No,
actually
no,
make
she made it.
did.
Oh, she actually
Mama
did make
is
it.
84, but she said, Nev said, oh, Mum, because we were really busy this morning, so she said, Mum, will you do us a favour? We've got this fella coming in today. And then she said, she went home and he went, do you want me to go and get the bits? She went, no, I'll go and do the shopping, I'll go and get the bits, because
She said, you don't know
likes
what to
going up
get,
the turkey
so-
shop, because they do nicer
this is
tomatoes.
lovely.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah. What would you normally have it with, or would you have it just...
Just fucking told you, pork chop.
Yeah, nice chop.
Pork chops?
Yeah.
Sounds like a good night out now.
And chips.
And
Yeah.
chips,
Chips, yeah.
okay.
And that with a few...
Even a couple of fried eggs,
Do
anything
you know what
goes
that?
nice.
Even that with a bit of bread. Just a bit of
bread,
nice bread with
yeah,
a bit of
yeah,
butter.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, good, I'm glad you like it. You were talking, Maverick, you were saying when you first came to London,
Yeah.
and like, do you know, you came to kind of pursue a music. How did it happen? Like, you mentioned briefly that you met our friend Ben, Plan B. But how did it really kind of kick off, you getting into music? How did it kick off coming to London?
I guess, yeah, it was in the first year or two, I was just kind of meeting people and working and recording stuff as kind of like cleanly as I could, using the studio space here. And then there was a lot of open mics. Yeah, it was open mics. At the time, the open mic scene was pretty strong, so the labels used to come down to him, other artists would. There was a good scene of people at the time. I felt like...
How do you feel like, do you know you said labels used to come down, so they got
Yeah.
scouts or what? Do they call
Yeah,
them
yeah.
scouts in the music business?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, scouts.
Would you know they were there?
Sometimes
And
you would.
You would. And how would that make you feel? Would you like make you perform better? Would you be really nervous? Or just like, do you know, it's like when the kids used to know a football scout was coming along.
It definitely would make you feel more at edge, but
Yeah.
I think like I was probably lucky enough to have like the upbringing that I had, and especially in Ireland, the music scene at the time, you know, when we were doing Irish hip hop gigs, when we used to do support slots or anything like that, the crowds were hard enough then.
Okay, so you were used to it.
Coming to do an open mic
Yeah.
with people sitting there listening to you was fuck all
Easy.
compared to, I've
Yeah.
been booed off stage before, I've had all arguments on stage, all of that.
But that's all part of it. You've
So
gone
when
through
you
it all.
when you come to, you know, being 18 and doing it for a couple of years, someone coming from a label, yeah, it's nerve-wracking to a certain degree, but it's not the same as other things.
But you know, so you said you're 18 when you come over.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know already that's what you wanted to do? You wanted to do music. Did you come over with a vision just to do music, or did you always know that? You said your dad was a musician.
Yeah, I was fairly like strong-headed about it, and I didn't really, you know, once I think it was that conversation that I said that I had with Plan B, and he was like, you know, he kind of put it to me. He was like, "Do you want music to be a hobby?" You know, because he's like, this is that turning point. It's like, all right, you decide, all right, let me have a backup. And really that backup ends up becoming your whole life, and music becomes something you do on a Friday night at home, like quietly in the spare room, or like, you know what I mean, or whatever it is.
Cool. And Plan B, Ben, we know he's quiet, isn't he, when he
Yeah,
puts
he's
his
very-
mind to something.
yeah, focused.
Yeah.
And I needed that. And I
And
think,
how'd you go from like playing these open mics and that to
yeah.
going into the studio and making like your album? It's 14 years in it since your first album that was...
Yeah, it is.
But to going from your open mics to making your first album, How does that
That was
happen?
a transition. I think there was a couple of points. There was like, I did a song with a rapper called Professor Green called Jungle that went on his debut, I think it was his debut album. That did really well. That was my introduction to people, I think. Channel U back in the day, which was on Sky. It was like a UK grime and hip hop TV station. I had my first video, Sometimes, which I shot in Clissold Park. That kind of did well on that. And it was just a progression. I did a song with Chase and Status, that helped me a bit more. I did some other little bits. And then I ended up getting signed to Universal when I was 20, something like that.
Oh, so you're really young when that happened.
Yeah, I think it was just after my 20th birthday, I got signed.
Was that when your mum was happy you didn't get a real job?
Yeah, that was
a proper job.
That was the first time I was able to ring her and say, don't worry, I told you.
Yeah, because she would be worried,
well,
wouldn't she? Of course.
Obviously at the time I didn't understand that. I was like, what the
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But and then I signed the first deal to Universal and put my first album out.
Did you think I've made it?
Yeah, you do. I guess you do at a certain point. You know, at the time, I think things are a bit differently, 10, 14 years on with labels and social media, the whole market.
It's different now, isn't it? Yeah.
But definitely at the time, the aim was to get signed. That was the point that you kind of went towards. So you did feel that. My life changed at that point. You know what I mean? I went from doing pubs and open mics to not, being on the dole at the time, and then
people paying to come and
then
see you.
People are giving you money to make music and say, I can actually do this full time. It changes things.
No, he was hungry.
He ain't done bad for a fucking vegetarian.
You know what I mean?
I feel better now because I was worried he was going to pass out when he goes outside. Just
On
eating
that
lettuce
last
and
little
all.
sip of beer, I started
Yeah. Did you need another beer?
to get double vision now. I'm glad that you packed me up with
another
some...
beer for the Mav.
Did you tell him it didn't count that little bit of chicken we put under there, did it?
No,
No, I know that there's something...
Nah, that's
No,
all
yeah,
right.
there's only a
Yeah.
little bit of chicken.
Is it
isn't
like a little
Yeah.
bit of lamb, a little bit of ham?
Yeah, no, not lamb, not proper meat, just a
Okay,
bit of
I'm
chicken.
glad.
That don't.
You know Arana was a good musician.
No, I wasn't. Back in the
I've
day,
heard-
many
I've
years
heard about
ago.
Good clarinet player.
Do you know who
clarinet.
taught me Sister Josephine, who
Yeah.
used to be our headmistress when we were in infant school. She was lovely, wasn't she, Sister
She was
Josephine?
lovely.
She taught me, Nikki Fafunri and Luciana at the fish and chip shop how to play the recorder. And she taught us with a colour-coded system to read music. And we'd play at Mass every Sunday, wouldn't we?
And Anna was
Yeah.
like, I don't know about you, but Anna was when she started playing the clarinet, you were not allowed in the room. She was like, if you even open the room, she'd be like, fuck off, I'm practicing.
Oh,
So you
there was
couldn't
lots
go,
of
I don't know
rehearsal
if you
to
were the
do.
same if you were at home, were you playing the guitar all the time?
Yeah,
or
definitely.
was
I
that
used-
your thing, the guitar?
Definitely, yeah. I used to force like friends of mine to be in the band with me, and I've got old videos of me like playing, and I was all right, but they were just getting dragged into the scenario just to join an early members of the band or something,
She would beat me because she used to love Madonna, right, in Ireland.
He was
There
so shy.
I
didn't know Madonna had many clarinet lines in there.
No, this- Yeah, he always used to get
If I get it wrong, she would go, you're so stupid.
He used to have to come in with the drums and he used to fuck it up every time.
Every
and we used to have to
time.
do it again and again and again.
I was
didn't
about
we?
10.
So more importantly, when am I going to come in and be able to hear you playing the clarinet?
Oh, I don't know if I could do
Yeah,
it anymore.
we
I've got to
should do
join an
that.
old biddy's
You should
choir
have brought it
first,
with
I
Nah,
think.
forget the old biddy talk now. I want to
Just
hear
to
the
be
bloody
singing.
clarinet.
No, she was
I've got to
good.
get back into it. My embouchure's gone. 'Cause
Oh,
she
it's the strength- what's that, the strength in
Yeah,
you?
the strength, because when you were good, you used to have like a kind of number 3 read, and now
Yeah.
it's
Good at that old Anna. All the boys around our house when she was younger.
Hey, still, they love me in that old whorehouse next in Ireland.
That kind of feel going on camera here.
But his mum's going to kick his dad out soon.
Okay, fair enough.
But no, but you were like really, and then, so when did you realise that music's really, that's what you want to do? Have you always wanted to do it?
I think it was, once I started gigging and doing,
Yeah.
I was gigging early, I was gigging from like 14, 15.
Yeah.
Once I started doing that and feeling that, I was like,
Yeah.
I just was always
And you
something.
said when you come over, you got to a point where you were playing with Chase and Status, and who else were you playing with? You gave me some names
It was
before.
Pro Green,
Yeah,
Plan
Professor
B.
Green, Plan B, and all of
Brought me
them.
on my first
Is
tour.
there anybody that, even growing up in Ireland through the music scene and over, is there anyone that you looked at or heard or whatever you went, that's what I want to do? That's someone who really particularly inspired you, or I knew that fucking word.
You've taken ages.
You've only seen it because I've got it written there.
Do
you know what? In one sense, it was more seeing people I didn't like. Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm a better fucking musician than that. So let me fucking graft on. But that was when I was like really young. But yeah, I don't know, like that generation, Plan B was a big influence growing up.
And that was a big time in music, wasn't it? With those kind of, you know, really kind of changed the music scene a lot. Those
definitely, and it was like they felt like, you know, even after that, when I first moved back to London, they felt like there was a scene of us coming up together from all different styles of music. But yeah, it was a lot of early '90s hip hop was a big inspiration for me. And then when I started hearing UK hip hop for the first time, I remember hearing Kalashnikov, who's from Hackney, and hearing like, you know, areas that I knew with an English accent. It suddenly felt closer to home than American stuff, and I loved, you know.
We used to love all that, didn't we?
Yeah,
American hip hop.
Yeah, cool. You had all Wiley and that coming through on the grime.
And then when I started hearing Irish accents on stuff, it made it even more connected. So it was like I had the duality of hearing Irish stuff and English stuff that made me feel like, there's a connection, there's a closer connection to me for that. So yeah. Would you get into
Ben's thinking of doing stuff again, isn't he? Would you get back in the studio with Ben?
Always,
do a little, I bet you.
Always.
Why didn't you? Have you ever talked about doing something together?
No, not of recent. No, not of recent.
Give him a little. I'm gonna get Anna to call him. Give him a little. Give him a little.
Ding, ding.
Yeah.
Oh man, Ben.
Give him a little ding, 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 ding.
And then,
phone call. Sorry. Thought you meant
I was about to pull
else.
out all the noises there. Ben's one of the greatest. I still think Ben's one of the greatest songwriters this country has. And has had for a long while, and I don't think that ever has a time limit on it. And I think, you know, the world's just waiting for another great Plan B album, and whenever that comes, it comes. You know
hopefully
I mean?
He's thinking about it.
Yeah,
so hopefully it's about time.
He's got a space in a lot of people's lives.
Yeah,
from
big
all
place.
his records. You know, Who Needs Actions when You Got Words was the record that I first heard from Ben, and then you've got Strickland Banks, you've got Ill Manners. You know, people are connected at different points in their life, and that doesn't really go away, you know, so I think whenever he's ready.
Yeah, I'll tell him.
You'll have to give him a call.
Yeah, we'll give him a call.
Yeah.
He's ready.
I use this on my phone, so I definitely need to give him a call, but yeah.
Is there a favourite? Well, no, probably worked with so many people, and sometimes you shouldn't really just have a favourite anyway, because you can't just kind of limit your, do you know what I mean, your inspirations you work. But is there one person, a favourite person that you can say you've worked with or got the most out of, or?
I guess it's an obvious one for anyone who listens to my music, but Jorja Smith is someone who I've known since she's been...
That's the girl.
Since she's been 15.
That's the girl.
Okay, it came up. I've known her since she's been 15. We started writing together from then. We've done loads of songs together. I've written with her on loads of stuff. She's written with me on loads of stuff. And she's just someone that, apart from my own career, I've seen from the get-go. She's like my little sister, and I've watched her journey and her grow. I just went to see her perform in Paris the other night, and she just sold out 2 nights there. And
she's
to
massive
see
now,
as this young kid from Warsaw come down to London for the first time, and always had a beautiful vision and passion, and we were kind of always inspired by similar music growing up. To see her then years later have the career that she's had and be global and.
So how did you meet her then?
Our managers were the same, but at the time he wasn't my manager. He was just a close friend of mine, and he was like, he basically wanted to. He found this young girl, and he was like, "Look, I don't want her."
That sounds a bit wrong.
No, yeah, that sounds right. He found this young. And I'm fucking hot, so I'm gonna get all red. He found this young musician that he basically didn't want the industry to take hold of. You know, as a lot of, sadly, you know, young artists in general, and definitely young female artists that come into the industry, they get exploited heavily, and that's never changed in the industry. There's still that problem. You know, sadly, there's still that background to labels and management and gatekeepers that have that hold over young artists.
I think that's irrelevant for so many kind of big businesses everywhere, isn't it?
And you know, stuff's coming to light more about, you know, the dark side of a lot of these industries, but it's difficult, you know, and not everyone has the right intentions when they find someone that they believe in to protect them. Most of the time they want to exploit them and make money out of them. And he was the opposite of that, and he was like, she's got a beautiful voice and a beautiful vision. I just want to surround her by people that are going to nurture her.
Yeah.
And, you know...
That's nice that he trusted you.
Yeah.
And
there was a
you
couple
see
other
yourself
people
a little bit in that sort of thing,
Ah,
like coming down, you coming over from like you see that's a young me, but girl version sort of thing.
Definitely, and it was back to the story about like Plan B didn't need to say to me as this young kid who's just met him for the second time to go, if you want to come over and do this, I'll give you a place to stay if you need a studio to use. You didn't need to do that, and one conversation changed my whole life.
Yeah, so you're paying it back
the least
in your
I can
way.
do is do that.
I always
How
say that
did
to
you-
my boys. If you get like a leg up or someone, as you get older and you get better at doing whatever, if you see someone come along, pay it back. Try and pay it back.
Be the domino effect. I think so many of us lose hope in
And
life.
it takes that one, it makes that little change,
Help
like one
each other out,
person.
yeah, definitely.
And I guess that's like the beauty of using here, like I've met you briefly once before with Jake, but meeting you here now is
When I ripped you for your woolly hat.
for me woolly hat, which I got ripped as soon as I came to the bloody door.
I thought it was really friendly.
Next time I'm coming in with a bike and a little dog in a basket.
Kim Brompton.
You got to keep your grounded,
Excuse
haven't
me.
we?
Will you have one of them
Sandwich
Bromptons?
in
Do you
here.
know only posh people pay $4,000 for a fucking bike that they carry everywhere?
Next
They
time I'm
fold
coming
it
in here,
up
I'm
and they
asking for a
carry it everywhere.
margarita. I guess you do that every day, have personal conversations, and it's a domino effect of love, and I just think you got to keep that.
Did you know as soon as someone let you hear her sing, Little Georgia? Did you know first time you heard her sing? Like
I
when
heard
was
some
the-
demos.
And you
I was
said
pretty
this
ropey. It was
girl's
4
got
o'clock in the
something.
morning, and I got played some demos.
And even then, you just
And I was
knew.
like, wow, yeah. And she, on one of the first tunes that I heard, she'd sampled something that I'd sampled when I was 15. It was an old, I think it was a Miles Davis record. Was it Miles Davis or Ahmed Jamal record, a jazz artist? And and I remember hearing it thinking, fucking hell, it's slightly, the production slightly reminded me of being a kid. And I heard her voice and I was like, yeah, this is great. So, yeah. And I knew as well, I'd been in the industry, I know that the industry can be a dark place sometimes. So, anything I can do to help.
All right.
Yeah.
That's
Do you know
nice.
you were saying before, because you were saying your dad was a musician, but
Yeah,
then he
yeah.
worked in, we won't mention that place again. No, but I'm saying that where I did a bit. Is that something your dad had always wanted to do and never really quite fulfilled it, or was he a proper musician?
No, he fulfilled it.
so he was playing around in the play.
He was
Okay,
playing
so
in
it
pubs.
wasn't something that he'd wanted to do but never did.
No. My dad is like the purest form of an artist, in my opinion, and it was, he is probably the shining light of anyone that I've met or been inspired by. That, still now he rang me up 2 weeks ago and saying, "Oh, I've just finished this tune I was telling you
really?
about," and he'll sing it to me on the phone. It's like, that's the goal of like whatever he has found is what I think artists, no matter what, whether you're playing on pubs, whether you're playing to arenas, whether you're playing to no one, the excitement of creating should always be at the heart of it.
Yeah, of
when you
course.
start creating for other things, you get lost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
it comes organically, it comes naturally.
he's still there. He's more of a soldier than I am playing.
Is he guitar as
He's
well?
a guitar player and a singer, a great singer, great
But he
guitar
play a lot of
player.
the Irish music because that was a big
bits and
thing in the
pieces,
pubs.
bits and pieces.
I know people like to join in if they start like in the pubs.
He
they'll
was more
start.
of a blues man.
The blues
He's
man.
more of a blues man, yeah. And my uncle plays, and he was in a band, funny enough, called the Fish Drinkers, which it says what it says on the tin, but they were in a band with another 2 sets of brothers, all great musicians, and they were kind of the band that, I grew up around.
But it's very big in Irish house, because I said to you, when I went to school, I'd say 90% of my friends were from Irish. And there's so many of them were musical. There was
It's all
always a piano
the
in the
dancing.
house.
If they didn't do the thing, they'd done the Irish dance, and if they didn't do
So
the
it's
music,
a big part of the culture, which you were saying, going back into that. It's nice to be able to lock back into it in the culture and keep it all going round.
I think it's the culture of storytelling as well.
Yeah, of course.
Don't know, the specifics in Italian culture, but I definitely know in Ireland everyone's got a story. Whether it's the fella you meet on the corner and ask for directions, or you go into a pub, or your nan, or everyone's got a story or a song, and that translates. Whether it's dance or you're a history teacher, you're a songwriter, or you're just someone who goes and tells a good story on a Friday night in a pub. I feel like there's a way of kind of like relieving stress of history, explaining history, explaining where you're at, and there's something in Irishness that I think storytelling's a big part of that.
did your dad's music influence you? Like what he'd listen to, what you sort of
I think
what
it
way
did.
you went, like the music you love, and you sort of make your music sort of thing. Did it
I would
influence
say
that?
it did, because he had played a lot of blues and stuff, so it was a lot, there was a lot of like kind of, the voices were at the forefront, it was simple, it was very emotional, and it was storytelling. It was a lot like, I was always drawn towards that warrior music and painful music and stuff that you know, soul music, voices that told stories to like just the tone of voices. So that massively influenced me. Yeah.
What was it like to have your first big hit?
I don't know, it kind of, you know, I guess for me, everything was quite gradual. It was like, there was different moments that meant different things to me. So it was like, you know, we had the first album went to #2, and that was a real strong
Great
moment.
album.
We had some tunes on that went top 10 and top 20, and that was all good. But it was other things that, you know, I remember the first time I got played on radio, my first song, and a song called Sometimes, and it was a DJ called Sarah Jane Crawford. And I always remember her introduction, and I remember listening to it at home, and stuff like that felt more important to me.
Well, I remember hearing I Need, first time I heard that, I was watching X Factor, and loads of people were coming on and covering your...
Okay.
And I was like, what's this song? I was like, I've never heard this song. Like, I don't know what year. Well, I must have been busy doing sales, taking too many drugs or something. But
Mum must be watching.
No, I didn't, Mum. I'm only joking. Anna,
they were all legal drugs. It's all right.
But I remember, and I went and Googled it or whatever, and then that was the first time I'd proper... And I thought,
that is one of those tunes as well that, do you know, like certain people like do well or famous, but that one tune specifically, where it was 5 years ago, it would be 10 years, 20 years, everyone will remember that tune. I know even like Paolo, his little girlfriend, they all love it. It kind of transcends all. So that must be a wicked feeling.
Yeah, and I think, like, you know, when you create tunes or any kind of music that people bring into their life memories, it's like, that's the reason I made music, is because it saved me from dark places, or it made me feel connected to things. And so when people have that with your tunes and they journey with you, it's like when we did the 10-year anniversary of the album, as much as I've got 10 years of fucking memories, they've got 10 years of memories.
Yeah.
So like, we're basically just having a sing-song together because this means as much to me in this 10 years as it does to you. So
it's one of those songs as well, especially you got it in the car, you always think, it makes you think you can sing, doesn't it?
Yeah,
You're like, proper
Maverick, when that comes on...
I've definitely had people over the years whispering some singing in my ears all night.
I was laughing.
You get pretty heavy duty.
I was laughing because I had my little girls, they're 8 and 10, and I said, girls, I've got this Irish fella coming in tonight, and they're like, well, they want to listen to Descendants, that's their thing at the minute, it's like a Disney thing.
Yeah.
But I was like, played ya, and then Eleanor said, you didn't say your I needs properly. He's like, I need. He sounds like a horse, I need. And then they were making fun, and then Clara got involved as well, and they thought they were so funny. But I actually listened to it, they said it was a good song.
Okay,
they give me the verdict.
And they're 8 and 10.
We got the kids' seal of approval.
They said it was a good song.
Yeah.
So they said I could play it again.
Yeah, that will always, I think that, you know, sometimes you write stuff that it doesn't really come from you, it comes from something else, and I'm just here to sing it to people, you know what I mean?
You're saying about, like, you know, performing and this, that and the other, how much you love performing. Have you had a favourite gig yet? Do you aspire to have one that's going to be the best gig ever, or have you had one that's really made... No, do you know what I mean? Sometimes you might feel, I don't know, I want to play in New York, whatever, you know, or have you had, maybe it might be an intimate one or a massive one. What's been the most special one or meant the most?
Do you know what? Just because it's so recent, the gig we did in the old Shillelagh was beautiful because there was we chose to not have any mic, nothing was plugged in. So it was just whoever hears it in the room, hears it in the room. And I just think, like, what is it, 85 or 90% of music is consumed on our phones now, right? Which means that most people are listening to music by themselves all the time, which is beautiful because that's your own personal connection with tunes. But you know that if anyone's ever been involved in a lock-in or a sing-song or at a gig, even if it's, you know, 10 people or 20, that means there's something special that you can't put into words. So I feel like more of us should be doing that. I want to do more of that, and I feel like as much as fucking AI can bloody pour your cups of tea with fucking in the morning with like robots or whatever, however far technology advances. We need to get more and more away from that. We need to get back to our human sensibility. 100%. There's something within us that needs songs.
And it's the most simple stuff, really, isn't it? That's what we need to get back to.
What?
Just the most simple stuff, just connecting.
Years ago, the pub was like that was your radio or something. Do you know what I mean? People, they'd go in the pub, someone would get on the piano and start playing.
God, the vegetarians walked in.
Right. Now, what is your most something from a gig? Because I can't read what George has got on his phone. What's your most something, George? What is your most... the craziest story from a gig? Yay!
I probably wouldn't say what crazy stories go on at gigs over the years, but
We won't tell no one. This is
nah.
between us, Maverick.
Keep it PG.
Did it involve P. Diddy, did it?
No, it fucking
Yeah,
didn't.
that P. Diddy party told me you went to Maverick
Oh,
was
we won't
blinded.
tell no one. We won't tell no one.
Tell no one.
Trying to show me some baby oil before. He said,
yeah.
got some great
Yeah,
baby oil for me after.
No Diddy around here. Do you know what the craziest story was? We were doing. It was our first year, the second year doing Glastonbury, but it was the biggest. I think it was the second stage we did, and. That Lonely Are the Brave had just come out. I think it was summer 2012 or 2013. And the BBC were like, yeah, we're gonna, you know, this is gonna be the first set of yours that we're gonna broadcast live. And, you know, it was 6, 7 o'clock in the evening. It was a really good slot. We'd been playing all summer, the set was tight. We get on stage, we start singing the first song and no one in the audience could hear anything. And basically we were running everything, we weren't running everything off a track machine, we were running off a laptop.
Right.
And what had happened is some wire and whatever had happened, it basically had meant that none of the band was coming out of the speakers. So the only thing that was coming out of the speakers was me and the acoustic guitar. So we had this 45, 50-minute set prepared. It's going live. Everyone at the side of the stage is freaking out. My tour manager's freaking out. I'm putting the mic down, like screaming at people. What the fuck is going on? And nothing worked. And we ended up having to do a 40-minute set with just me and my guitarist.
It's brilliant.
Wow.
It was fucking brilliant, but it was nerve-wracking. But it turned out in the best way.
Yeah, can you
was
imagine?
like, in a way, in a mad way, it was kind of like going back to a pub. It was like, do you know what?
Brought it back to where it started.
Biggest pub in the world.
With no booze served on the stage, you know what I mean? But
I thought you was going to tell us a crazy story with all the horrors.
No.
He did the horrors
P.
and the
Diddy and
corking.
We'll keep all them stories in the
We'll wait
background.
till the cameras
What do you think of? There's some great we had a great Irish band in here a little while ago called Kneecap.
Oh, come on.
And they, what good boys. And
Champions.
Anna was shouting out loads. We had real fun with them.
Yeah.
Our mate Arvine, I don't know if you know Arvine.
I do know Arvine.
You know
Do you
Big
know
Ar?
Arvine?
I do know
I love
Arvine. How do you
Arvine.
know Arvine?
I know
Arvine messaged me the other night about
family.
a pub in Cork. We were talking about the Leap.
Proper.
Yeah.
Next time me and Arvo go out for a little something to eat, you've got to come with us. Come with us.
They're family friends, Arvo
But
and
he
G.
bought, they're proper. They're like family. So we brought Kneecap in. He did, and we had a real. And they're like that's just one of the young Irish bands. Cause you think what do you think of the Irish scene coming through?
I
at the
think the
minute?
Irish scene's the healthiest it's been in years.
I think it really is, yeah.
And what I love about Kneecap is like it's back to the conversation about language again. Like they've introduced the Irish language in the best possible way.
best possible way.
Like there's, you know, when I hear English people going, I'm going to see the new Kneecap kicking them up, and they're singing up the round.
Yeah.
I was like, fucking what? You're going to that? Yeah. I was like, fair enough. But I feel like, you know, sadly I haven't had the chance to meet them yet, but I feel like politically, socially, they're very sharp and on point and articulate and get the point across in a beautiful way, and they're championing, you know, for me what it means to be Irish in a really beautiful way. And even listening to them and listening to their records, that's made me think, oh, fucking hell, I know fuck all Irish and I need to get back up on my Irish. It's making it relevant again and cool to a younger generation, and we needed a band like Kneecap.
Maybe we need to do a song in Gaelic. That'd be lovely.
That would be the one, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, what's his name? Jack Savaretti with Marcus Kane started going back to doing songs in Italian.
Yeah, in
That's what we
Italian.
should do.
Sorry, I forgot about Jack Savaretti as well, another Italian.
Yeah, he's a nice boy as
we
well.
know him as... No, we don't know him. No, but he has gone back to doing kind of, because he grew up very similar to us in like in the same way you Irish Italian, but in that kind of way. So he's just done, I think he's done an album, but he's done one with Miles. But that'd be lovely.
That's interesting, of like
a
going
nice
back
song
to the
in
roots.
Gaelic.
Yeah,
Be lovely.
Definitely. Yeah, what's nice about a younger generation like Kneecap is they're teaching us who are a bit older of like, don't forget.
Yeah.
Have you seen the film yet?
I haven't seen the film
I haven't seen the film yet.
The film's supposed to be great.
The film's meant to be really good. I want to watch that.
Yeah.
Got it on my
Film's supposed to be
sticks.
great.
You're saying all these names, people that you've met, and all these like fancy people. Have you got one name in your phone?
Yeah,
that you
come
can
on,
kind
someone
of go
fancy.
Like, I've got.
I don't know what this is. It's not. Maybe everyone doesn't know his name, but I mentioned him earlier on.
Go on.
And it's maybe more specific for me. But any jazz fans or anything out there, I have. Sadly, he's passed away now, but. One of my like proudest moments, or just like something that made a lot of this make sense, was a couple of years ago. I was like 24, 25. I got given the email address for Ahmed Jamal, a jazz musician that I sampled and grew up listening to. And I was too scared at the time. I was like, the fuck am I messaging him? Like, oh, can we work? And I was like, nah, he's never gonna get back and whatever. And sadly, I didn't. And I was going to go to see him in London. He was too ill, he was elderly, he couldn't make it. And I always regretted it. And I realized that I still had it. And I was like, okay, do you know what? Let me reach out. So I reached out, and this must have been 2 years ago now. And I was like, oh, fucking, no one's going to get back to me. His wife got back to me, sent me a beautiful email. He then emailed me, and I had a little exchange with him. And sadly, he was very ill at the time, and he ended up passing away. But I ended up having an exchange with him beforehand, and just shared about how much his music meant to me and how much it changed my life. And that meant the world to me. And I've still got that email on my phone. I've got pictures of it. I've got it stored. Summed everything up for me.
And you've probably done that. What he's done for you, you're doing that now, and you've probably already done that for some young people. Do you know what I mean? And you'll get some emails sometimes saying, and that's a lovely. And his wife must be so proud of him. And think,
that must be lovely for her to hear as well.
To hear as well, exactly. For you to have sent that message, I bet it was lovely for him.
Oh, yeah, it meant the world to me. So, I couldn't list off a load of people on my phone, but fuck all that. That's what that shit.
And on the other end of the spectrum, who's the biggest plonker you've ever met?
I don't know, there's been plenty of fucking pricks
loads
out
of them
there.
coming.
But there's been a load of beautiful people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck all giving the cons to shine. They get enough shine.
You're right. You're right. Let's not give them any attention.
What's your love life looking like at the minute, Maverick? Have you got a nice young lady?
I do, yeah, I do.
How long's that been going?
3 years.
This the one?
Oh, this is wedding.
Yeah. This is wedding time.
This is the Italian coming out in here now.
And he said he's got a lovely ring. He said he's got a lovely ring for you. It's coming soon.
Is she English, Irish? Where's she from?
She's from Bristol. Yeah.
Oh, the Bristol girl. Who's that? The Irish girls or the English girls? Can you tell us?
I've got the filthiest mouth, that's what I tell you. Yeah.
The Irish.
The Irish. So 3 years. So come on, that's special.
It is,
and
definitely.
How old are you?
I'm 34.
Oh, come on now. We have to go. Let's sort out.
Come on, you'll be.
Imagine how happy your mum would be.
Let's go pick a ring.
Imagine how happy your mum. I know a few people who can sort you out right nice ring.
Yeah, I think my mum would just be happy that I'm happy. I'm not really an old school
I think she would be. You're not.
Well, Roisin, look at Roisin last week.
Do I want to be getting married for other people?
Well, we had Roisin Murphy on last, and she didn't believe in.
Yeah, but she started.
She didn't believe in, and she didn't believe in marriage, and she's going straight to hell. No, she's lovely, Roisin. She didn't believe in marriage. She was one of those.
But now she lives out in Ibiza.
Anna tried to convince her.
I am. She's going to churches and all a bit more. And I reckon I might change her. She's an Italian man.
So what's the point of change then? Where do you know your change?
Listen, right?
What's
your young lady's name?
Alicia.
So that's a lovely name.
I can see it now.
You're selling me
You're invited to the wedding. You're invited to the wedding of using your real name.
Jorja Smith.
Or your other name.
Maverick Sabre.
Terry Brown.
Yeah.
No, but do you know, we had a couple here recently, didn't we? It was this back in February.
Yeah.
They've been going out for 12 years. She was desperate to get married. Lovely Helen. And he was like, I don't believe in marriage.
So she believed in marriage.
She wanted to get married for whatever reason. So in the end, I went to him and I said, Jason, do you love Helen? He said, yeah, of course I love her. I love her to bits kind of thing. I said, well, if it really means nothing to you, nothing to you at all, but it really means something to her, and it's going to really make her happy, well, then just get married, because what difference to you? It don't mean nothing one way or the other. And he proposed to her right there where you're sitting. She's not finished yet,
Maverick. Hold on a minute. She's got a whole story.
And 2 Sundays ago, they were married.
He didn't end up in a meat factory with a load of...
They were married 2 weeks ago, weren't they?
Yeah, and they come for their after they got married on the Sunday, and on the Monday they had like their breakfast
in their wedding
breakfast. Yeah. And it was lovely. It was a great day. It was very.
That sounds beautiful, but you still haven't sold me the fucking.
We'll have a nice wedding in Ireland. It'd be lovely.
Yeah, well, I'll TBC.
Would you let us know?
I'll let you know.
Can we come?
I'll let you know.
We'll do the cooking.
We'll do the cooking. We'll bring the pesto.
All right, I'll let you know. First off, if I find out...
Yeah, you let us know.
If I change my mind, then I'll come
You've got
straight...
to change it. Imagine that your mum would be happy.
I'll come straight back
in. And the party, imagine the party for all your friends and everything. That's what's the good bit.
Yeah, then the hangover, and you realise what you've done.
The weddings in Ireland go on for like 3 days.
They do, it's a 3-day affair.
They start to have a day before, the wedding day, and then afterwards another day.
You were talking about giving back. What a beautiful day for all the family.
What a lovely
Everyone
day
would be happy.
for the family. Oh,
It'd be
we'd be
lovely.
great, wouldn't it, Erin?
Erin, can
Be
we
great.
come?
Can you arrange that for
Bloody
us?
ass car now.
Yeah, Erin's sorting it all out.
Erin-
What's wrong with an anniversary? An anniversary rather than a.
Well,
than
no,
a
we've
wedding.
had 3 fucking anniversaries already. How many do you want? Now we've got to get married.
Yeah.
I know, but isn't a marriage just a big anniversary?
No, it's not. It's special. And you've got to get
What's the
married in
difference?
church as well.
Tell me the difference between a wedding and an anniversary.
Oh, you don't want to start this argument with Anna. She's good at this stuff. Tell him,
Wedding's proper. You're going to commit to
I know,
one
well,
another.
you haven't got a real
and you
answer
get married
for me,
in
yeah.
church as well. You have
What?
to get married in
I
church.
haven't been to church.
Oh!
No, but you'll still get married in church. It's lovely. He's
I've got a
going
big,
to hell with
I've
Roisin.
got a big fucking with Roisin.
Yeah.
I've got a big fucking confession list.
Yeah,
I
but
need
you know
to-
he don't mind. He
Okay,
don't mind. As
fine.
long as you, do you know what? As long as you try your best.
Is
there
this
and
just
there.
a setup to get me back
No,
into the
as long as
church?
you try your best.
Fucking thing.
As
I'm
long as
fucking
you-
on edge
no,
here.
but don't listen to all that rubbish. As long as you try your best there and there, that's all he's worried
That's all
about.
that matters.
Yeah,
And
That's all that matters.
I think you do. We can
Yeah.
tell just by talking to you. Got a
And because
big...
you're so nice, you're going to get married.
All right, good. I like
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but before we
Wait,
get
it wasn't I'm
married...
so nice I won't go to hell. Am I still going to
No,
hell?
he said
You're not going to hell. You're
Okay.
forgiven.
Yeah.
You're
before you get married, we've got to
Yeah.
make a few more quid, haven't we?
Yeah.
So you've a new album out.
Album's out, yeah.
What's it called?
Burn the Right Things Down.
Burn the who?
Burn the Right Things Down. That definitely sounds like I'm going to hell, innit?
Oh, Jesus, forget this. He's
It's
going
the
down,
opposite
we're
of that.
done.
Was it a
Yeah.
long time in the making?
Nah, it was probably the shortest.
shortest
project.
one?
Yeah, I went out to the countryside. A friend of mine, he converted a barn. This sounds really Irish.
Oh, geez, fancy,
He
innit?
converted a barn into a studio, and I basically spent a couple of months in the barn in the countryside, and made an album.
Just you. Just stayed
So
out.
it started with me, and then I brought my band down, and then a producer called Zach, good friend of mine, to oversee the project and help me finish off some bits and pieces.
You never done nothing like that before?
Nah, everything was always done in London, or like I'd go back home, I'd write some songs. It was always sporadic, and then after about 2 years, I'd pull songs together.
Fucking sporadic. He's coming out
It was
with
all
the
over the
black-
place.
It's the fucking type of potato. Sporadic.
I love the sporadics.
That's not what you use on these, is it? Yeah.
Did you find that helped you doing it that way?
Yeah, do you know
Being
what?
just there, like, and that you got to sort of almost do it. You've got to get this done.
Yeah, it was the first time in a long while where London just felt a bit too much for me to make music. So I needed to just step out of it a bit and get back to the countryside a bit.
Could you see yourself doing that a bit more, getting out of London as you get older and going?
Yeah, definitely. I love London the bits. I think sometimes for creativity, I just need a little breather sometimes.
Yeah, I'm getting a bit like that as I get older.
What,
Yeah.
in the
Wanna
country?
go live on
I've
top of
moved
a
out,
hill.
mate. I've moved
Yeah.
As long
out.
as I've got my Sky Telly and
Yeah,
EastEnders at
yeah,
7
yeah.
o'clock, I'm all right.
I've moved right out, anyway.
He's moved miles away.
What, as in out?
Out.
Okay.
Gone right out.
Yeah.
Ask him where he's moved to.
Where have you moved at?
Mile End.
Oh, you
But do you know, Maverick, if your new album out,
Yeah.
is there any one particular song or album that, I don't know, even means the most or that you're proudest of? Or
Yeah, I think the other day when we were performing them, certain songs stood out more. There's a kind of stripped back soul record called "Help Me Out" that was more written. Funny enough, bringing the conversation back to religion, it was kind of came off the back of having conversations about like religious faith and you know, life and death and everything in between, and like what I felt about at this stage of my life. And I felt like, you know, spirituality was becoming more relevant to me as I got a bit older. Not that it never was, but I think like I've been searching or kind of connecting with stuff a bit more recently. And this was a song that felt to me like a handout to something. And it reminded me of loads of people that I'd lost. So yeah, help me out.
If you could pick anything to be on our menu when
A
you
home
come in, a
comfort,
home
something
comfort
for you, a
that
home
makes you
comfort.
feel like home,
Yeah.
what would it be?
Just because we were saying it earlier on, and we were saying about Irish dishes, is Colcannon.
oh,
Whole
nice.
cannon, the mashed potato,
Mashed
the
potato
cabbage, a
and
little
the
bit of
cabbage.
spring onion, is
yeah,
it?
Yeah. As a
Lovely.
veggie, I can still eat it, and that, yeah, that
We'll
always...
do that for you,
Yeah?
no problem. Of course we will.
Are you sure now? You're not just spotting me for this
100%.
fucking thing.
Yeah,
Course we
no,
will.
that's all right. I'll let you off with that.
I don't know how
Right.
many people would
No.
enjoy Colcannon, but
No,
No,
Hannah's
what,
lovely.
what me and
Yeah.
Anna have been looking for, it's lovely, Cole. We will all, everyone enjoy fucking, won't we, Aaron? We'll all enjoy Cole Cannon, won't
Yeah?
we? What we're looking, we've got a question to determine, are you more English or are you more Irish?
All right, go on.
So, right, get the questionnaire,
So we're going to ask you some questions now, Maverick.
So you're taking
to
the Irish
decide
accent?
if you're. He's doing the Irish
sorry.
accent.
Thought you were starting
I'm
there.
the posh one
All
when
right,
it comes
all
to
right,
English. I'm doing the English accent.
lovely, all right.
You can tell I'm posh. What I really want to know before I ask you these questions, what was better, the Irish Horror Meat Factory or the English Horror Meat Factory? Which one?
I'll leave that open for
We'll
everyone
leave
else to
that.
decide.
We'll leave
yeah?
that. No, be on a serious note now. Come on.
Right.
So Irish versus English.
Right.
So what was
right
better?
Taters.
Or-
Taters.
Yeah.
Or Walkers?
Fucking hell, say that again?
Taters.
Oh, what?
Walkers.
Oh, it's potatoes.
All day
Ding,
long.
ding,
Potatoes,
ding,
cheese
ding,
and
ding,
onion.
ding.
Yeah,
Bacon
easy.
and cabbage.
Bangers and mash.
Again, I wasn't a big bacon and cabbage fan, so I'm going to have to go for bangers and mash.
Oh.
Okay, are you keeping score? George, 1-1.
Yeah.
Father Ted.
Only Fools and Horses.
Oh, they're both great, these.
Only Fools and Horses, I reckon.
I think Only Fools.
I have to say what the last thing I went and watched, and it was Father Ted, but that's tough. I'm only going to say that because it was the last thing I watched.
Right. Gaelic.
Football.
Gaelic
football.
what?
Yeah, Gaelic football.
Yeah.
Well, obviously.
Or like English
Oh.
football. Or normal football. What's the difference?
One, you pick it up and run with it.
How's
was
that
one-
fucking football then if you're
It's
picking it
called
up?
Gaelic
It's
football.
called Gaelic football, yeah.
But why is it called football
It's
if
the
you're picking
guy,
it
it's
up?
the guy.
It's called, yeah, it's the guy. I was only good at soccer. I was shocking at Gaelic football, so I'm going to have to say soccer, English soccer.
Even they don't know nothing
Even though,
about
like,
football.
to everyone else,
Jesus.
Gaelic
Arsenal,
football is a
so
sport
they
you should
don't
be
know
playing. None of this English stuff here now,
Yeah,
yeah?
girly stuff.
It's a good
proper
game.
football.
But yeah.
Chef sauce. Chef sauce.
HP sauce.
He can't understand it if I don't say it in Irish.
HP.
Keeping tab, George? Go on.
A ride.
Fit.
Sorry, what?
A ride.
A ride?
A ride. You're going to ride her? Did you see that one over there? A ride.
A ride?
A ride.
You need to get that bloody... Where did you say your wife was from?
Oh, she's fit.
Or fit. Or like,
a
or
ride,
she's fit.
yeah,
ride.
a ride, yeah.
A sambo.
Or a sani.
Oh, I would say a sani.
Duns.
Oh, no, I'd say a sambo. No,
Oh.
No, I wouldn't. I'd say a sani. Go on.
Okay.
Duns.
Or Marks and Spencer's.
Duns.
Duns. Jedward.
Ant and Deck. Ant and Deck have had their day.
No,
Get
big up
Jedward
Jedward,
on.
come
Big
on.
up
Big up
Jedward.
Jedward.
Kerry Gold.
Oh,
Anchor.
they forget Anchor, Kerry Gold.
All day, I agree with
I hope
you.
you're using Kerry Gold in here.
Obviously.
Yeah, I use Kerry Gold at home.
Oh,
Okay.
because it's
Yeah.
got none of the good stuff.
It's got none of that rapeseed or rubbish in it.
Dust in the turkey.
Yeah.
Or Basil Brash.
Oh, who?
Basil Brash.
Basil, fuck
Oh,
off,
Basil Brush.
Oh, I loved Basil.
O'Neill's.
Umbro.
I have to give it to Umbro on this one.
W.B. Yeats.
Or Shakespeare.
Oh, Yates, come on.
Come
yeah,
on.
Shakespeare.
Come on.
Hey,
Yeah,
big up
Shakespeare was
And last
shite.
one.
Go on.
Guinness.
Oh, what?
London Pride.
No, I'm sorry, I can't
London
even.
Pride.
Guinness is
That's
Guinness.
his fucking idea. That's his idea.
Guinness. Satisfaction of
You
us.
even embarrass me
You're
saying that.
embarrassed
George.
saying
My
that.
father-in-law's never going to speak
Guinness
to
all
you.
day long. What the fuck is
you're
London
happy.
Pride?
Was that your best
It's
effort?
some
London
beer.
Pride, yeah? Also big up Murphy's as well.
Yeah, the
Murphy's
Murphy's.
and Beamish as well. Beamish
He's
is
all good,
stout.
all good. All the fucking drinks.
All
Yeah,
the stouts,
London
yeah.
Pride. You ought to be ashamed
London
of
Pride,
yourself.
really.
Sorry about that, Maverick. I do
Is
apologise.
that the thing he whispered in your
Embarrass
ear?
yourself,
Jesus,
Adrian. You've
yeah.
embarrassed all of us.
Okay,
man.
man,
all
that
of
was
us.
just great.
All of us.
I thought this was a solid old school
Yeah,
squad for
yeah.
them kind of question.
Wait, what a great time we've had.
Thank you,
Thank
Maverick.
you. I think we're in. Are you going to play us a little something?
I'm going to play you a little tune.
Wicked.
Oh,
I
that'd
can't
be
wait.
amazing. Thank
So
you.
excited.
Go on.
So we've got the wonderful Maverick Sabre. Thank you for coming in, Maverick.
Thank you so much. We've had a great
Some
time.
lovely grub as well.
So
I
excited to
appreciate it.
hear a new song from your new album.
Yeah.
Will you let us know what it is?
It's called Down Where You Left Me, and I thought since a lot of the conversation's been about like Irishness, this is the kind of most rootsy tune from the record. So this is a song called Down Where You Left Me. Hopefully that beer doesn't come back up halfway through. But
Down where you left me, down on the corner. Will I regret it? I don't do more, and I know that you sent me. Wonder, can I walk alone? Trying to fight it, finding a way out. The stronger that I am, the longer the way down. I know that you sent me. Wonder, can I walk alone? So I just hold my head, Promise don't hold your breath. I promise that I'll be there. I promise that I'll. So I just hold my head. Promise don't hold your breath. Promise that I'll be there. Promise that I'll. What did it teach me? What did it pass me? Somebody gave me. I'm on the edge and I saw it just like you. Don't tell me you don't hear a thing. Oh yes, I'm trying to fight it, finding a way out. The stronger that I am, the longer the way down. I know that you sent me. No longer am I here alone. So I just hold my head. Promise don't hold your breath. I promise that I'll be there. I promise that I'll. So I just hold my head. Promise don't hold your breath. I promise that I'll be there. I promise that I'll.
That was beautiful. Thank you, Maverick. That was really lovely. Thank you so much. That was lovely. Thank you.
Proper.
Go on.
Proper.
No, thank you.
Brilliant.
That was beautiful.
Brilliant, lovely.
That was beautiful.
That was lovely.
The tone of your voice, I think, when you hear it acoustically, it's on a whole different level.
Thank you.
It's unbelievable. It's lovely.
Appreciate
It made me a bit emotional. That was really nice. It was lovely.
Really good.
Hey everyone, if you enjoyed that little clip, then make sure that whatever platform you're watching it on, subscribe, follow us.
And make sure that you follow @DanTheCav on Instagram and all your socials. Spread the love.
Tag us, spread the love.